Yeah. Come on, focus, camera. Come on, focus. Focusing on me. Sorry, y'all. Trying to get my camera to focus. There. Just kind of focusing now. Yeah, man. I hadn't done the ride thing, man. I will. I got a lot of stuff going on, so I just don't think about that. I will though. I know you do, man. I know. Where is? Where is it? Sorry, y'all. I had to do a bunch of stuff on my computer the other day and end up resetting a lot of settings. So I don't think I got everything quite right for my stream. That's cool, man. Yeah, I worked on it some. Some deer tail right here. I don't know why my camera's not staying focused on the fly. Maybe I'm leaning forward too much. I'll stop doing that. Come on, camera, focus. Come on, camera. Trying to find a good piece of marabou. Do I have kids? I've got one that I know of. Just kidding. That was a joke. I got a bunch of four-legged kids. Did I make those too? Yeah, I had a hand in it. I wish the camera would focus on the fly. I don't know why. I don't know why tonight everything's being difficult. Focus, camera. Focus, 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 focus. I don't know. Belly fur. Hobby Lobby, stop. I did not. I did not. I will go check it out after I get done streaming. What's up, Bambi Clouser? I'm gonna go a little bit more around the bottom. Hobby Lobby? Oh yeah. Yeah, I go to Hobby Lobby. I sure do. Oh, sorry, I hit my camera. Let me try to put my camera the way I normally do it and see if that helps focus it. I don't know why it's not focusing right tonight. Maybe that'll help. All right, razor blade, so we can give this thing a haircut. All right. Oh yeah, yeah. You can get some good stuff at Hobby Lobby. Fly time. All right, throw some glue on this one and we'll be done. Y'all, if y'all are new to the channel, please subscribe. I've got over 700 actual fishing videos on my channel. It's not just me tying flies all the time. So if y'all want to go see a bunch of fishing videos of us actually using these flies, I got hundreds of fishing videos on my channel, y'all. Oh, listen to this jam, y'all. All right. All right, let's tie some more, y'all. Black and purple, man. You can't go wrong with black and purple down here in the saltwater. I didn't do a super long tail on that one. As you can see, it's kind of a shorter fly. All right. Let's do another one. 68 subs. My goal is 500 by then. Yeah, I think I don't know what the new thing is to get monetized on YouTube, but they changed it. I don't know what it is though. All right, Gamakatsu. This is the tarpon hook, super strong. 3/0. It's a 3/0 hook, super strong hook though. So. Red base around the eye. Yeah, man. I've never pike fished, but I've read about it in magazines. What's up? That's Ngimba. What's up, Ngimba? Thank you for watching. Thank y'all for watching, everybody that's watching. If y'all are new, if y'all would please subscribe, that'd help me out a lot. The thumbs up, doing the like button is actually what helps out more than anything. If y'all would give it a thumbs up, it'd help out a whole lot. You make money off time. Yeah, I mean, I got my flies for sale, but I use my flies. Me being a fishing guy, we use them all the time. Also, all right, again, big purple deer tail. Just gonna take that, put that on there like that. Big wraps, big wraps, big wraps. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Just cutting off a chunk of deer tail right here, y'all. Yeah, you just slap the whole deer tail on there. That's for those really, really, really big fish. You do that for bluegill? All right. A blue giggity. Blue giggity. Throw a little purple shiny on the hiney. All right, we throw a little chartreuse shiny on the hiney. Oh, thank you, Kid Noble. Thank you, thank you. All right. Put a couple of crazy legs on there. I want the chartreuse to be showing, so I'm going to double it over. All right. I think I got some different marabou, y'all. Let me find my other marabou. Well, this'll work. This'll work. Let's find a good piece of marabou. This one ought to work. I'm just going to run this around by hand. We can trim off some of that marabou. We can trim some off at the end. Of course, it probably don't really matter. All right, let's throw some minnow head brush on there, y'all. Oh, you know what? I still got... Oh, that's a short piece. It's probably... we'll do it. You know what? Let's go with this little short piece so we don't waste it. Might be too short. That's like the story of my life. Let's try to go with that little bitty short piece of minnow head. That's probably the smallest piece I've ever tried to wrap, but let's try it and see. We're just using this as kind of a filler anyway, in front of that marabou. It'll probably be fine. Yeah, probably work. Good enough to catch a redfish anyway. Looks good. Thank you, country. Thank you, thank you. All right, gonna throw some belly hair on there. You like that shirt? The Don. All right, take some deer hair. And we're gonna cut off. We're gonna do this a few times. We're gonna do this at least 3 times, but I'm gonna take a chunk of deer hair right here. This is belly hair. I'm gonna lay it kind of in between the eyes, on the lead eyes. I'm gonna wrap it once to get it started. I'm gonna let go of it and then wrap it tight. See, I just kind of poofs it out. We're gonna do this like at least 3 times to get full coverage. We're gonna do that at least one more time, y'all. I usually do a minimum of 3 times, sometimes 4. I just want to get full coverage on there. You know, I'm gonna put a little bit more on the top. Just got my deer hide dried out after 1 week. Oh, you do it from a deer you got? You doing it yourself, like keeping your own deer? All right. Now we're gonna tie this off, and then we will. Sorry, y'all. This camera is just not being nice tonight. We'll tie this off, and then we'll shape up the deer hair. Where's my volume? Wow, dude. Man, llama. You don't even need to go to the fly shop, man. Now if you start pouring your own lead eyes and you know, become a blacksmith and beat some hooks, you're good to go. All right. Now we're gonna take a razor blade. Golly, this camera. I'm about to get something and stick this camera. All right, maybe it'll stay now. All right, now we're gonna take a razor blade, which is the most dangerous part because it's super dangerous. Not really. You just don't want to cut yourself. And now you're gonna bend the razor blade and shape up this hair right here. And that already looks pretty good. That looks pretty sweet already. Raphael, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Little CJ, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, black and purple. You can't go wrong with black and purple. There you go, y'all. A little black and purple. That's 2 down. Might do a couple more, y'all, if y'all don't get too bored with the same fly. I gotta get another pack of hooks. You're about to bust open a fresh pack of hooks. You need me one like that. Look at that brand new pack of hooks, y'all. You gotta get that good old Corona smell. You can get that fresh China virus when you opening things up. All right, let's go ahead. That Rona. All right. All right. Little thread around the head right there. This is a large lead eye, y'all. I think it's like 1/20th of an ounce or something like that. And I'm not putting these right up on the eye of the hook. I'm putting them back a little ways, so that way whenever I do the belly hair, I can tie it off. So I'm going back a ways off the hook, and then I'll put the lead eye on there. All right, see you later, Liam. I will try to remember the rod thing for tomorrow, man. So what I'm doing right here, y'all, I just did some wraps. I'm trying to check, I try to get the eye as close to 90 degrees, as close to 90 degrees as possible. It don't have to be perfect, but just try to get it pretty close and then wrap it up. Bambi Clouser. That would either be a little Clouser or a noob if you play video games. Look, it's a Bambi. Everybody go get it. All right, let's throw some glue on the eyes, y'all. You want to put glue on there so that they don't start twisting right away when you start catching fish. Then hit it with the ultraviolet light. All right. Deer tail. Deer tail. And I'm just finding a piece of deer tail a piece that I want to use. $10-foot 7-weight. Yeah, a 10-foot long 7-weight. Jeez. Is that like is that custom made or something? A 10-foot long 7-weight. I had a client come down here. It's been a few years ago, and he brought his own 7-weight with him. Normally we use like a. Oh, okay, I got you. I had a client bring his own 7-weight down here, and normally we use a 8-weight or bigger. He brought his own 7-weight. In fact, it's on a. I got it. It's on a YouTube video of mine. He brought his own 7-weight down here, dude, and he hung in. I mean, he caught a couple bull reds on it, but I thought that rod was gonna just freaking snap. But he caught a couple bull reds on it. But on video, the rod's just like it looks like the rod is, about to break. Usually recommend eight weight and 8, 9s, and 10s. My 10-weight, I throw that more than anything, just because of the big bull reds um, and plus if it's windy. So a lot of times I'm slinging my 10-weight. I'll throw my 10-weight for a long time. and then I'll pick up that 8 weight after I've been using that 10 weight, and it's like, golly, this rod is light, you know. But most of the time, I'm slinging my 10 weight. Um, well, there you go. I tell you, it's already like today down here. You know, I'm in Louisiana, and it was like 87 degrees today, and it's been in the 80s for a couple of weeks. And if it stays like that, and that water temperature shoots on up, man, I'm gonna be going my offshore fly fishing really soon. If the water temperatures keep going up, I'll be going offshore and doing my, you know, basically instead of the skiff, you take the bay boat and go out to the rigs, out around the oil rigs and fly fish around them things, man. And you catch monsters out there. You know, go get into a bunch of jack crevalle and cobia, tarpon. Uh, I mean, you'll catch everything out there around the oil rigs. But out there, you want to throw like a 12 weight and bigger. You don't want to go out there with a smaller rod because you're not gonna be able to you're not gonna be able to turn the fish. Yeah, as soon as it heats up, that water temperature gets a little bit, which I'm not even sure what it is right now, but I haven't been fishing in about a week. But as soon as the water temps get on pretty high, start heading offshore and catch some monsters out there, man. I will make sure to post the videos. You know, Marty, the guys out of Homer. Oh, Homa. No. I know a lot of guys down here, down my way. Um, I don't know everybody, but I know a lot of them. I know this is not the typical way of doing this marabou, but the way I do it, it still turns out pretty cool. So, um, oh, what's up, Lone Star? Frying up some pork chops and sweet potatoes. I got you. Yeah, I use my 10 weight all the time, man. if you go and watch my videos on my channel, you'll see why I use that 10 weight, man. We catch freaking monsters down here. I mean, we regularly catch redfish over 20 pounds. Like it's not even uncommon. Like we catch redfish over 20 pounds all the time. So, throwing that 10 weight, that just helps you get them in. And whoops. Tonight I did not have pork chops. I had steaks and like it's a pasta, but it would be kind of like gigantic macaroni and cheese. It's the best way to describe it. Yep, there you go. You must be out in the northwest somewhere or something. Santa Fe, New Mexico. That one's almost good enough with just 2 chunks, but I think we'll do one more chunk. Well, that's almost good enough with just 2, but I think I'm gonna do one more chunk. All right. Now we'll go ahead and we'll tie this off, and then we will shave its head. Right now, he looks like he's at a Blink 182 haircut, but he's about to look like he's at like a Morgan Wallen concert. I'm sorry, a Blink 182 concert, but now he's going to a Morgan Wallen after we get done with it. Ain't that the guy's name? I don't really keep up with country music, honestly, but I think that's the dude's name. I'm from the country, but I like my punk rock and my metal and my alternative and all that. Yeah, you know, one day I'm gonna leave some like that because they ought to work just like that. I would think it would work just like that. In fact, you know what? Let's leave it like this. I'm just going to trim a little bit off, but I'll leave it like this and I'll try it next time I go. Or get one of my clients to try it. Y'all, if y'all want to come down here to Louisiana and fish, y'all go to my website, it's louisianaonthefly.com, and shoot me a message on there, and we'll get you booked up. Everything's biting right now. In fact, from now till, I mean, basically from now through the rest of summer, everything's gonna be biting good. So, dude, yeah. So this time of year, it is my, I slow down for a couple of months, and this is one of them. And so I know how it is, man. Last March, I was booked like half the month. This March, I am not. So I know what you mean, man. All right, we're gonna leave that one a little. We'll leave that one a little staticky. What size of jig heads do I use? Or lead heads? Man, all sizes. These are the large, the 1/20th of an ounce. But I mean, man, I got a whole Ziploc bag right here. I've got everything from like the super little bitty lead eyes to big ones, and then of course I got bead eyes if I want super lightweight. I mean, really, I've got everything. I think I'm gonna do one more of the Static X ones before we swap it up. Let's do one more of the Static X. I'm sure some of y'all have seen this that have watched my streams, but I'll show y'all if I can reach it. This box right here, I'm gonna sell off this box, but all this right here, you know, oops. Of course, I tied I tied all my stuff, but I'm gonna sell off this whole box. There's a fly fishing festival coming up in May. I'm gonna sell the whole box off. But Louisiana guy, the Louisiana guys are big bucks, man. Some of them charge. I match like the area I'm in. I match the guides that are around here. I either match them or I'm a little less. But some guys, yeah, some guys are, you know, are expensive, man. I used to undercharge and I didn't realize I was undercharging. So now I match everybody else. 800 a day. It depends. So my fly fishing 750. Spinning rod I think starts at 8 and goes up. from there. I know it sounds expensive, man, but there's people that charge way more than that. Oh, thank you, Hunter. Yeah, I used to charge way less, and then oh, tell me about it. Tell me about it. It's, it's a lot. My charter insurance alone, you know, you have to have special guide insurance just to guide. My guide insurance just to guide is over $6,000 a year just to guide. So just to guide, it's over $6,000 just for the insurance, and that's not counting your guide license, um, boat payments, uh, all your stuff. And on the spinning rod, because I do fly fishing and spinning rod, so on the spinning rod side of it, I got clients breaking rods. You know, so we're breaking rods. We're going through fly or going through line. You know, popping corks, leads, jig heads, hooks. And then when snapper season comes in May, then you're going through bait. So you're buying bait for red snapper. It costs a lot of money. Gas, dude. Gas. A lot of gas. I wish the boats ran on pixie dust, but they don't. Now, fly fishing is actually, as far as material wise, is probably the cheapest thing for me because I make all my flies. So it's mostly on the fly fishing side, it's mostly gas and then just my material I put in my flies. Um, what pound test on spinning rods? I go with 30 at a minimum. I'm normally running 40-pound test. I use that Cortland, the Cortland Master Braid, and I'm normally using a medium heavy rod. So, like a medium heavy spinning rod. This is all for redfish and stuff. So medium heavy on my spinning rods, um, and usually a 40-pound test, 30-pound at a minimum. And then, you know, if I'm popping a cork, I'll run that down to a popping cork. And then for uh, my leader, I'll use fluorocarbon, and it's usually 30-pound at a minimum. It's usually 30 or 40-pound fluorocarbon leader. And then, you know, if we're throwing, you know, I don't just pop corks, but you know, depending on what we're doing is. In fact, I'm a big artificial. You know, I don't like using shrimp. I try to use artificial as much as possible. For the big bull reds, I never use shrimp. You don't even need them for the bull reds. Bull reds are very aggressive, so we just throw artificial for bull reds. I never throw shrimp or live bait or anything for bull reds. It's just shrimp. I won't say never. Um, most of the time during the fall, like late summer and then the fall, sometimes we'll run to Grand Isle, and you got the bridge that runs from the mainland of Grand Isle over to Grand Isle itself. You got that bridge right there. So starting late summer, the bull reds will start coming in to spawn, and they'll stop off at that bridge at Grand Isle, and they'll hang out up under that bridge. So we'll go out there and park the boat up under the bridge, so you're sitting in the shade the whole time, and just spot lock up under the bridge, and throw live cockahos or live mullet or whatever up under the bridge, and it's like chunk out there and hold on tight, man, because you can go out there and get your arm broke off with all the bull reds up on that bridge. So you're out there catching bull reds one after the other, big old black drum, sharks, unfortunately. Uh, that's about the only time I throw bait for bull reds is when I go to Grand Isle and park up on the bridge. Other than that, I'm throwing artificial. It's a real good time, Hunter. But the last time we went over there this year, well, hold on, Ewas. For me, it's a massive satisfaction catching something on a jigging flies. It takes a lot. Oh yeah. Um, the last time I went over there this year to the bridge at Grand Isle, and this was crazy, man. We went over there. I had 4 people from Canada. They were down here. They were in New Orleans for like some kind of we have a what you call it, a whatever it's called, a place where they do like a lot of man, I can't think what it's called now. Oh, convention center. They have a convention center there. So they were there for some kind of convention, and it was 4 people from Canada, and they booked me. So we went out and parked up on the bridge at Grand Isle. Yeah, convention. That's it. So we went and parked up on the bridge at Grand Isle because I thought it'd be just fun, easy fishing for them. And we got over there and we started catching some monster redfish and some black drum. We had caught 1 or 2 sharks. Well, then one of them hooked into a shark, and it was a pretty big shark. And I started the big motor up on the boat, and I was chasing the shark down, like idling, trying to get the shark in, or at least close enough so we could either get it in the boat and release it or cut the line. So as I'm idling around chasing that shark down, my starter on my boat decides to go out, and it's a 2023 um, with a 2023 Suzuki, so it shouldn't be messing up, but it did. So I couldn't get the motor back started. I'm sitting there trying to start the motor, and eventually, uh, the battery gets so low, and in between all that, here comes. I mean, this is such a crazy story. In between all that, here comes a storm out of nowhere. It went from being sunny to here comes a storm. So since I couldn't get the boat started back, we're slowly getting sucked out into the Gulf, So when we got right there to where the edge of the Gulf is, I knew I had to do something. So I dropped the trolling motor down in the water. And what battery I had left, I threw the trolling motors on high, and I was fighting because the tide was going out, so the boat was getting sucked into the Gulf. So I threw the trolling motor on high as I could, and I got up close to the beach as I could. Now you got to imagine, we got a storm coming in. All of a sudden, we got high winds and big waves. So I get the boat close to the beach. The beach is like right here. I get the boat as close as I could to the beach with the nose facing the beach. I dropped the power poles. I got dual power. I dropped the power poles in the back of the boat to keep me from going up on the beach. The waves are coming in over the back of the boat from the storm. It was crazy. So we had water coming all inside the boat and all this and that. So I called Cito. I got a sponsorship by Cito. I called them. He tried to come get me. It was so rough, he couldn't even get to me. So I ended up having to call the Coast Guard, man. I've never done that in my life, you know. Had to call the Coast Guard. It took them like an hour and something to get to me. And all this time, water's coming in the back of the boat and all this and that. And of course, you know, I got bilge pumps on the boat. So that's pumping out as fast as it could. And I had a bucket and I'm sitting there scooping water out as fast as I could. But finally, the Coast Guard got to me. Uh, they pulled me. I went ahead and got a rope ready while they were on their way. So I had the rope tied to the boat and everything. When they finally got to me, you know, they pulled me off the beach and pulled me back to all the way back to their base, which is like it took over an hour to get there. Well, on the way there, I got out there messing with the motor. I disconnected the fuel water separator, dumped it out. Um, Finally got fuel. It took forever because it was airlocked. I finally got fuel to go back in the fuel water separator, and then I kept messing with it and I actually got the boat to start back up. So once the boat started, um, I had the Coast Guard guy's number. I called him and I was like, "Hey man, I got the boat started." And he was like, "Well, once we got you, we got you. We got to take you all the way in." So I was like, "All right." So I kept the boat running, and what I did is I put it in neutral, and I ran it up to like 1,000 RPM so it wouldn't shut back off on me. I ran it to 1,000 RPM and just left it neutral, and they towed me all the way back to the Coast Guard base. And once we got there, I kept the boat running. And once we got there, I said, "Hey y'all, I had my clients on the boat, and it was like 30 minutes till dark. So we were out there all day, man. It was like 30 minutes till dark. I said, all right, I'm gonna get my clients, and I had to run now about 40 minutes to get back to where we launched out of, across a big bay and all that. I said, hey, I'm gonna get my clients back. And the Coast Guard guys were like, you sure? And I'm like, yeah. They said, all right. So we took a big group photo with the Coast Guard dudes, and then we disconnected from them, man, and that boat, that bay boat, when you turn all the lights on, it looks like a Christmas tree. So we turned all the lights on, we threw some music on, so we were jamming, and we were running back across that bay at like 40 something miles an hour to get back. And we basically made it all the way across the bay. It got dark. It got dark as we hit the end of the bay. But once you hit the end of the bay, it's just a long canal. You have to run down a canal to get back to the marina. So we made it back, man. I mean, we were running back in the dark. Once I got across the bay, it got dark. We were running back in the dark, but I could see good enough to avoid like the whoops. I left something off. I could see good enough to avoid the crab traps. So we didn't hit anything on the way in. We avoided the crab traps, but yeah, man, that was like the craziest time I've had on a charter. And it's nothing I could do about it. It's like a mechanical issue, and I've never had anything like that happen on a charter. And I hope I don't again, but apparently it's common. I've talked to other guides, and a lot of other guides have had to get towed in by the Coast Guard, but that was my first time ever, and I hope I don't ever have to do it again. They were cool though. We took a group photo with all the Coast Guard guys in the background, and I put that throttle down and got back to the marina as fast as possible. And then the boat, of course, yeah, the boat, of course, with it being a newer boat, it was still under warranty, so they swapped the starter out, and that was it, man. But that boat's got a Suzuki. It's got a Suzuki 300 on it, and I've got a Yamaha on the fly fishing boat, I got a Yamaha on the skiff, and I love that Yamaha so much more than that Suzuki. Um, I've had issues out of the Yamaha, but the only issue I ever had is the fuel. Uh, Maybe the ECU, something with the fuel went out on it, and they troubleshot it and replaced it. But other than that, the Yamaha I got on that skiff, man, that Joker's a beast. I've literally, and I've done this more than once. Um, we'll be back in some super shallow water, in the fly fishing skiff, to where I'm basically pushing the boat across mud the entire time. And when it comes time to leave, man, I've stuck that Yamaha down in the mud and pushed my way out, with that Yamaha. Just let it push through the mud. But now that Suzuki, as soon as that Suzuki touches a little bit of dirt, beep, it starts beeping at you, and it actually shuts cylinders down. It still runs, but it'll shut cylinders down. But my Yamaha, shoot, man, I put that Joker in the mud. I'll run through mud in my Yamaha, you know, because you know how it is fly fishing. Um, a lot of times we're fishing super shallow water, and I'll run back in areas where when I'm running in the boat, I'll look back, and we're just going across mud. The boat's just shooting a mud rooster tail. So that happens a lot, especially in the wintertime when you get shallow, when the water's really low. We'll be fishing super shallow areas where you're basically running across mud to get in and out of an area. So anyway, a little story time from Captain Shane for y'all, man. I got so many stories from being out in the water, but that's the only time that I've had to get towed in by the Coast Guard, and that was last year. So, oh, thank you, country, thank you. Got a ton of stories, man, a ton of them. Y'all know what a water spout is? A water spout is like a little miniature tornado. It's like a little miniature tornado that on the water, you know. And sometimes they can be big, and sometimes they're little. We had a water spout set down on us one time, out of nowhere. This was like, man, this was 3 or 4 years ago now. It was me and one of my regular clients and his buddy. And we were actually spinning rod fishing. He normally fly fishes, but we were spinning rod fishing this day. And I think this was during December. But December is down here normally pretty warm. You'd be down here in the 70s and 80s in December. And I think this was during December. And we had already caught, like, we were spinning rod fishing that day. We had already caught, like, man, 30 something fish that day or something like that. And this was all before lunch. And around lunchtime, I said, "Hey, man, you want to go catch some bull reds?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "All right, let's go." So I pulled over to one of my bull red areas, and we pulled up on the bull red area, and the first two casts, it was him, another guy, they both cast out. First two casts, they doubled up on bull reds, big 20 plus pounders. And so they're out there, and now and by the way, the weather was calm. It was like very light wind, like hardly any wind at all. Um, Calm day. And it was sprinkling water a little bit, but other than that, it was calm winds and all that stuff. So they both cast out there. They doubled up on bulls. They're sitting there reeling the bull reds in. About time. They almost got the bulls to the boat. Next thing you know, out of nowhere, um, it went from being sprinkling to like raining sideways. The waves got huge, like big waves all of a sudden. And I got all this on camera because we were filming that day for YouTube also. And and or did I film? Yeah, I got it on camera. That's right. Yeah, I do. It's on camera. I have to go back through. It's one of my. It's from a few years ago. But it went from being calm and sprinkling to giant waves and raining sideways. And we got the fish out, and they like took a picture with the holding the fish up. They both doubled up. They're holding both fish up. We released them, and I got on the motor and took off as fast as I could. Got there, and then we looked back where we were, and you could see the water spout. It was crazy, man. So what was funny was they were actually laughing all the way. We went ahead and caught it because we caught a bunch of fish that day. They were laughing like all the way back to the marina because it was just so crazy how it went from calm to just crazy in just a couple of minutes, but anyway. All right, y'all. We did another Static X one right there. So we did two Static X flies where we left the haircut like they just left the Blink 182 concert. And then we did two with them trimmed up nice and pretty. So, oh, thank you, Bait. All right, y'all. I think that's gonna be it for tonight. It's like 9:30. So I guess it's gonna be it for tonight. We tied four flies, and then we told some fishing stories. I'll probably try to go live. I try to go live almost every night. Some nights I don't, but I try to go live almost every night. I'm trying to get like Ty's Flies. I'm sure y'all watch Ty's Flies. That guy have like hundreds of people watching him, man. So I'm trying to get like him one day. But all right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. If y'all ever go over there and watch Ty's Flies, tell him I said hey. But all right, y'all. Thank y'all for everything, and I will catch y'all later on. But all right, y'all. Thank y'all for everything, and I will catch y'all later on.